Now that 2023 is officially over and we finally moved on to 2024, let's see what crochet related goals and resolutions I can accomplish for the year. Hey everyone, Happy New Year and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Melanie and I really enjoy crocheting plushies, or the technical term amigurumi. I first started my crochet business at the end of 2021 and since then it's been a really crazy journey of growth to say the least. I transitioned from almost exclusively selling online to branching out and vending at local one-day market events, and even evolving to multi-day artist alleys for weekend-long conventions. I think in total I was a vendor for 7 different events this year. And considering I have to make all my plushies by hand, I was able to have an event almost once a month this entire year. That's actually really crazy. This past year I also really took the time to grow my social platforms. I had a few posts on Instagram that gained some popularity. I also decided to spend more time on my TikTok, and then even made the decision to start my own YouTube channel and everything. So 2023 was definitely a year full of firsts and really awesome milestones. I really like seeing the direction that my business is going, so I'm super excited for what's in store. Now that the new year is finally here, I've been thinking about little goals and I guess reminders even to help keep me on track so I can accomplish what exactly I want to get done for the year. So I figured I'll share them all with you so you can all help keep me accountable for the year. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so goal number 1. I guess this is kind of 2 parts. So the first part of it is be more comfortable with freehanding. So since I started learning to crochet, I've really kind of exclusively worked off of patterns. I've never really bothered to just freehand something and hope for the best. I think right now I'm a lot more comfortable with just sticking to a pattern because I know what to expect and I have a pretty good feeling that the shaping of it is gonna look okay at least. But honestly, freehanding just intimidates me. Like if I miss a stitch or something and if the shaping of it looks wrong, I really don't want to keep frogging and everything. But there's already been parts of like different patterns that I've had to freehand on my own and managed to do it. I don't know, I feel like I just need to trust the process, and since I've been crocheting so many different things over the past couple years, I think I have a pretty general idea of the shape of certain things, but we'll see. So then the second part of this is that with the freehanding, I would eventually, I don't know, maybe this year I will be able to finally make and write my own pattern, question mark. I think it would be really cool to come up with an original design, but again, I know it will be a lot of trial and error and a lot of patience. I'm also not quite sure exactly what I would want to make. Definitely a plushie, but we'll have to see what my creative mind comes up with over the year. So stay tuned. Maybe coming out with my own pattern seems like a pretty cool milestone, but I'm nervous. So we'll see. If anyone has any pattern writing tips, please comment below. So goal/resolution number 2, I want to be able to crochet more things for myself. Since starting my business, all I've really been doing is just making plushies for other people, and I have a really small list of items I really want to work on for myself, but I just haven't had the chance to get to them yet just because I've been so busy either stocking up my inventory or making orders for other people. So one of the goals for this year is to definitely make more time to make things for myself. There's some plushies I want to make, and then there's this dress that was released last year that I really want to try out, even a few other decor pieces. So yeah, I want to put this skill to use for myself finally. Hopefully I can make a few more things for myself this year. Branching off of that, I definitely want to crochet more clothes. Clothing, for some reason, is just super intimidating to me. I think because there's just so much more flexibility with the freehanding and I have to measure it up to like my own sizing and everything. I think the combination of all of that is kind of deterring me from wanting to try clothing a bit more since I'm just so much more comfortable doing plushies. But yeah, more clothing for sure. Another goal for this year is to be a vendor in at least 2 conventions. I think I finally found my niche with crocheting and my business, so I think I'll be the most successful at artist alleys and these multi-day conventions, so hopefully I get into some. I definitely want to do Anime Weekend Atlanta and DreamHack Atlanta again. Since they're both local cons for me, expenses really won't be as high as if I were to travel out of state for a convention. but those two events alone are already in the last like quarter of the year. I'll definitely have to plan for them and definitely stock up a lot for those two events. And as you've seen in my Artist Alley vlogs, I've sold out at both events. So now that I have a better idea of how much inventory I should have, I feel a bit more prepared. So fingers crossed that I get into the conventions I apply for this year. We'll just have to see. And then these last few points are a bit more on the generic side, but they do apply to crocheting in my business. So all right, next resolution, take more breaks. There's been so many times throughout the year where I would spend endless hours non-stop crocheting without taking a break. I would feel my hands and my arms starting to ache and everything, but I would just force myself to keep pushing through. And ultimately, I'm already feeling the negative side effects from doing that. So I really need to force myself to take a few minutes to rest every maybe like 30 minutes to an hour of crocheting. So yeah, this is a reminder to everyone, but especially to myself, please take breaks when you're crocheting because the physical damage to your body is not going to be worth it in the long run. All right, so next resolution is to do more activities other than just crocheting. I feel like ever since I started my business, it really has taken up a big chunk of my life. If I'm not working my full-time job, I'm crocheting. Like, those are literally the only two things that I do, and I feel like I've neglected a lot of other activities and hobbies as a result of that. So for this year, I really want to focus on not spending less time in my business, but spending more time doing other things, you know? Like, crocheting can't just be my entire life. So like, for example, I've had this mini greenhouse kit for a couple years, and I think I had bought this around the time I started crocheting actually. So I had built a couple things and then I learned how to crochet and then I never touched this box again. So I'm hoping maybe I can finish it finally this year. We'll see. I used to read a lot in elementary school and I really want to start picking that back up again. I had bought a few books last year to motivate myself to finally read again, and they're all kind of just sitting on my shelf right now. So yeah, I'm gonna try my best to find some time to finally start reading again this year. And I really want to keep playing piano again. I started taking private lessons when I was 5 years old and kept going until I think junior year of high school to focus on school and college applications and everything. And since then I kind of just learned songs on my own, but I really haven't been that diligent about practicing over the past few years, so I'm kind of rusty, but I really miss playing. So maybe on days where I need a break from crocheting but I still want to use my hands, I can go downstairs and play on the piano instead. And then another big one, exercising. Because if I just spend my time working or crocheting, which is also work now at this point, 90% of my day is just sitting here in front of my desk right now, like literally what I'm doing at the moment. So I'm very immobile. And my parents got me a walking pad for Christmas, so you bet that I will be using that from now on. I also want to try other crafting related hobbies. I'm not sure if I want to touch knitting again yet. I'm a little too immersed in crocheting right now to even think about picking that back up again, but pottery has been piquing my interest over the past few months, so maybe I'll look into taking some classes. We'll see. And then maybe even some other crafts like making stickers or similar things. So I don't know, we'll see. But that actually brings me to today's sponsor, Locklick. Hello, we have moved to the kitchen so I can show you guys my brand new machine. Locklick provides high quality craft materials and user-friendly DIY machines such as heat press machines and cutting machines. So Locklick was kind enough to send me this cutting machine, so let's open it up and test it out. Very nice. As you can tell, I've already put in one of the needles here. It's very sharp. Locklick sent me a whole bunch of supplies, but we are going to test out this shiny green vinyl today. I've downloaded the Locklick design app, so let's make something real quick. There's an entire library full of templates and pre-made designs to choose from, so this can be a really good starting point. I'm thinking with the shiny green vinyl, let's make something holiday themed. It's not Christmas anymore, but maybe we can still do something holiday themed. But yeah, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of different templates to choose from. Ooh, I think I like these circular ones. Let's try a few out. Okay, I've loaded them all in, and let's rearrange them real quick. I think this should do for now. So before I print, I am going to want to load the vinyl into the machine. So with this cutting mat, sticking the vinyl on. Okay, it took a couple of tries, but we have successfully placed the vinyl on the cutting mat. And now to load it in, all you have to do is place the mat in the inserts, and then with this button, it's loaded and ready to go. So we messed around with some settings. Hopefully it works. We're about to find out. So let's get them all cut and see what happens. Okay, well that was a fail because nothing cut. So let's try that again. Okay, I've changed the force of the blade, so let's hope that fixed it. There we go, you can kind of see that circle. Yay, I think the second time worked out a lot better. You can kind of see some of the cut lines right there. So I'm gonna let it cut the third design and then we can take it out after. You can kind of see the cut lines. Let's take it out first. We're gonna use this handy dandy welding tool to take these stickers out. All right, so update. There are a few failed attempts, and I think I just need to mess around with the settings a bit more because the cut lines aren't super easy to remove from the vinyl. So maybe it's just the force of the blade that I need to adjust, but this was the one and only semi-successful one. I'm definitely gonna spend some time this year to mess around with the cutting machine because I really want to be able to make a few things with it. But for now, this is as good as it's gonna get. I am really excited about what the machine can do though, so maybe I will post about it in future videos as well. So if you're interested in getting your own cutting machine, check out the link in my description below, and thank you Locklick for sponsoring this video. And then the very last resolution slash reminder for 2024 is to stay more on top of being clean and organized. Generally, I feel like I'm a pretty clean and organized person, but sometimes when things just get super busy and I kind of let myself go and pile stuff in one place, once the clutter starts getting a little bit too much, then I'm like, okay, it's time to start actually cleaning. But maybe I'll dedicate like one day a week, it might be every 2 weeks, to just tidy up so I don't get to the point where I'm like, okay, everything's gross, I need to start cleaning now. And then this calendar whiteboard that I bought just came yesterday, so hopefully this will help me stay on track and keep me organized. We'll see. And that's all my crochet related goals and resolutions for 2024. They all seem pretty achievable, but it's really dependent on how much time and effort I'm gonna put into all of them. So now that I've shared them all with you, help keep me accountable. If you have any other goals or resolutions for the year, whether they're related to crochet or business or just in general, feel free to comment below. I'd love to read them. And with that, I think we can end this video here. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and let's make 2024 a really great year. See you guys in the next one. Bye.